In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful, dear friends and fellows here in Pakistan and abroad, look, we people we people are having certain talents given and gifted to us by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we over the period of time we have learned certain skills, and as far these talents are concerned, as for the polishing of these talents are concerned, as far our skills are concerned, I think these are a matter of pride and these are a matter of confidence. And to be true, it makes us strong and it makes us, it makes us a better human being, and it somehow it gives us strength, and that strength is direly and desperately needed. And although there are variety and there are a myriad of skills and talents, but here we are going to each one of the talent and each one of the skill is important at certain places. But today we are going to talk about one skill, and that skill is, to be true, it is the skill of the skill. It is such an important skill that it makes us a very prominent human being wherever we are living, but wherever we are working. It makes us a prominent human being. Rather, it will not be any sort of exaggeration at all if I do call it, if I do say that it makes us a leader, and this is the skill of the leaders, and for that reason, I think that we must be very proud of it. If at all we do have a little bit of this skill, a little bit of this knowledge and this talent, and I think that if at all we do have a little bit of the talent, and if at all we have learnt a little bit and we have developed a little bit in this regard, I think it should be a matter of confidence and self confidence. And because as for the public speaking is concerned, it does gives us quite a lot of confidence, and it does make us quite a prominent human being, I think quite a respectable person in the society. It even turns the good speakers into the good leaders. And that is, here I have got an article, and this article is written and authored by, this has been authored by Anders Tover, and the Anders Tover is the writer and the researcher, and this article has been written by the Anders Tover, and the caption of the article is, 5 inside tips for improving your self confidence as a public speaker. Improving our self confidence as a public speaker. Improving our self confidence as a public speaker, we do need the self confidence. That is really important. In general it is quite important, but as a public speaker it is not anyway lesser important at all. So for that reason I am of the view that we should be taking advantage of this article. And the article, it has been said by Andres Tover that 5 inside tips for improving your self confidence as a public speaker. And now we are going to talk separately upon each of these 5 tips. First of all, Andreas Tover says that practice makes perfect. Whether the practice does makes perfect or not, but at least one thing is true, and very much true, and this one thing is that it somehow makes us, it polishes our skill, it polishes our talent, and it turns our talent into the skill, and that skill is really important. It makes us somewhat excellent. As for the perfection is concerned, nobody on earth will be perfect, since there is always room for improvement, my dear friends and fellows. There are the 5 tips, and we are going to talk separately. And the first is, practice makes perfect. So we need to practice, we need to do the more practice, we need to do even the more practice. And as for this practice is concerned, it should go on the practice in general as a public speaker, and the practice about a particular presentation we are going to deliver. In both ways it is quite beneficial, I think so, that we must not underestimate or ignore the importance of the practice. And that is the reason that the learned author has put it as the number one most important tip. And the second is manage your nerves. We do have to manage our nerves because it makes us nervous, because public speaking obviously it makes the people very nervous indeed. No matter, no, even the skilled people sometime or even often they find it necessary somehow to manage the nerves, because it does happen quite frequently almost to everyone else. It is beneficial to practice the controlled breathing, and it is important to practice the mindfulness. I think it is really important, because as for the controlled breathing is concerned, it does put us every time we are going to feel nervous. It does put us, as for the mindfulness is concerned, it does put us every time we are going to become unhappy, nervous. It does put us, and that is the second tip: manage your nerves. And we don't have to be nervous at all, because if at all we do become nervous, we will never be able to put forward a good presentation, and that will shatter our confidence. Being able to control our nerves, that is really and really important. Now the third thing is speak slowly and pause. That is also important, because if at all once we are standing in front of a crowd, what does happen, that the people are seen speaking fastly. Whatever they have been prepared, whatever they have been preparing for, they start speaking fastly, because they want to finish soon, and they want to leave the podium as soon as possible. They want to vanish from the scene, because standing under the spotlight, that does actually makes nervous many of the people, maybe all of the people. For that reason, I think we need to speak slowly, and we need to make pauses as well. What is this pause? As for the written speech is concerned, as for writing an essay is concerned, because there are paragraphs in it, and for that reason, in the same manner that once we have spoken a kind of paragraph, or maybe just a couple of sentences, we need to pause for a few seconds, maybe for 5 seconds. And this 5 seconds or even 4 seconds, I think it makes us even more, it gives us more confidence. As far speaking slowly is concerned, I think it is one of the key factors that makes us actually speak better. And these are the three tips, and now we are moving toward the next two. And the fourth one is focus on the positive. The fourth one is focus on the positive. What is this focusing on the positive? Because every time we are speaking, we make certain good things. Every time we are talking, we don't no, we fail to make certain other things. It actually means that focusing upon our good performance, whatever has been delivered in a better way, must become the focus of our attention. And whatever was lacking, whatever was not performed well, we should tell ourselves in quite an encouraging manner, like we do train our children. And we need to tell ourselves that the way I have learnt and practiced, the way I have improved in certain other things, I believe that I shall be able to move forward, I shall be able to improve in the rest of the things as well. So there is every reason to become a confident person. So there is every reason to somehow encourage ourselves and to appreciate ourselves, because we are moving forward. I have learned certain skill, certain items, certain ingredients, and another certain ingredients will also be learnt. Now the fifth is, don't be afraid to seek professional help. As far this professional help is concerned, I think it is also important. But here in our society, what we need to do is that whoever is better at public speaking, we need to learn, we need to seek the guidance, we need to seek the advice, provided they are supportive and they don't discourage us. Plus, as for the social media is concerned, as for the YouTube is concerned, we can seek the guidance. there are so many lectures and there are so many other things available on the YouTube, so we can learn from here as well. So these are the 5 tips for improving our self confidence as a public speaker. Being a public speaker is really important. Let's have a quick revision of all those 5 points. First of all, practice makes perfect. We need to practice as much as we can in the general practice as well as the presentation we do have to make. And the number 2 is manage your nerves. We don't have to become nervous, and to avoid being nervous, we can practice the breathing. We need to control the breathing. We need to do the mental exercise. We need to do the breathing exercises, and we need to practice the mindfulness. And the third is speak slowly and pause. That's important. Number 4 is focus on the positive. Mean whatever good we have been doing, we are doing, we need to focus upon it. The way I have learned, the way I have performed this, I shall be performing in the same manner, in such a good manner. All the rest of items, all the rest of points as well. And the fifth and the last is don't be afraid to seek the professional help. Mean guidance, seeking the mentorship of the skilled public speakers. Thank you.